to repeat the event we did last year and to partner with Dilek and the team and to come back to Turkey and to host the judging, but also this time to also spend some time and visit a region and some producers. I do think that it's really the best way for learning more about the country, the people, the culture, is to really immerse ourselves in the country and really understand the culture of the wine and everything around it. So we're really excited to have obviously Sarah Abbott, who was here last year, and Isa Ball to also join the trip this year. And we'll be bringing with us about 8 to 9 international judges, and which we already have, some have committed, and we're in a process of finalizing the list. So maybe Sarah and Isa, you want to open up and say what you're looking for to visit in Turkey and to this activity.
Hello, everybody. Lovely to see familiar faces. I think that we're at a really critical turning point for Turkish wine. And what I would really like is for this second edition of the IWSC judging to really achieve that tipping over into the full potential, which I see as really bringing Turkish wine more, moving it from this idea of a curiosity to actually the world of really exciting, dynamic, emerging wine regions. And so for me, I think that the visits, it would be great if we could include both some of the examples of some top quality international varieties, which I think are important for Turkey as a kind of calling card. It kind of benchmarks Turkey within a global sector. I also think that Turkey's cultural history, the really long history of native varieties that have kind of managed to transcend political resistance or really even, socioeconomic challenges for wine is really important. So I'd like to see the experience in the indigenous varieties as well.
I think it's a great opportunity for the judges to see actually beyond the tasting room and just the glasses of wines. It's, in my opinion, one cannot really appreciate a wine region, let alone a wine country, without actually seeing where the wines are made and where the wines are grown. And I think it's very important that the judges will have the opportunity this year to go and meet some of the people who make these wines in situ, and also to see the topography, to see the sort of geography of where the wines are, and to see the plants and some of those indigenous varieties that are, by which time they will be totally in bloom. So I think it's a good opportunity to also show them the sort of the lifestyle where those wines are grown, the cuisine where those wines are grown, that you cannot really separate it from.
Regarding the trip, we were thinking of going to Thracians. On the Thracian side, we have different routes. So we this year we chose Thracian side, and Zeynep Arca from Arcadia is with us today on that route, and we will develop the route according to the time frame. We have spoken to some of the producers on that route. It will be like 2 nights on the road and coming back directly, flying back from Istanbul. It will be a bus trip, so it will probably take like 3 to 4 hours to 5 hours from some places. So I was also considering to discuss this with Isa in making the program. We had drafted a version, but I will also check with Isa, then go back to the producers and ask for their help and contribution, and see how we can make it best for them. And in the coming years, we'll go to the other regions, hopefully, because we have the Aegean side, the Mediterranean side. We have so many, as you know. I would like to see if the producers have any questions on how to apply, how to go about this applying process? What kind of wines maybe we can advise what type of wines they should choose and what would be their priority and how it will be judged so they can be more comfortable on applying with their wines. Shall we maybe tap on that subject?
Everyone is thinking about the questions, if I may chip in. Sorry. Hi, everyone. Once again, my name is Mila. I'm part of the IWSC marketing team. I'm mainly here to pass the microphone around, but I just wanted to ask Sarah and Isa maybe to talk a little bit more about our judging process and to, explain what differentiates it compared to other competitions and how we taste and how rigorously the wines are really being judged. Thank you.
I'm so sorry. I'm going to turn my video off and is better, but I am here. I'll carry on talking.
Okay.
So I think that the fact we have small panels of highly expert, highly qualified judges, all of whom are paid. And this is an initiative that Christelle brought in the minute she took over the competition. Being asked to judge for IWSC is actually seen as an honor and an endorsement. And there's a very strong demand for experienced industry professionals to come and judge. I think the other factor about the people who come and the quality of the judges for IWSC is that so many of them actually are actively engaged working in the trade. So we don't have a large number of retired and, if you like, tangential people who come and judge. Everyone who judges is actively working in the current world of wine. I think also the way in which the panels are structured, which is that we don't have a strongly hierarchical system. There isn't there to basically dominate and make the final decision. This means that the panel are really carefully considered and arrived at after a lot of respect. A chance to be seen, appreciated, and really sort of roundly evaluated, because you don't have the dominance of any particular single palette. And I think those are the two main factors that differentiate IWSC from other competitions. Other competitions do not pay all of their judges, and other competitions do have a structure where essentially you have a single personality who makes the final call and can kind of use the silver bullet to actually make a decision on any wine. Whereas we have a much more collegiate and really consensus and discussion-driven approach.
I think on that one I can step in. On the tasting, we always have the sort of initial approach to any wine is positive, i.e. we are not looking to punish the wine, we are looking to sort of approach it positively so that we can push it up rather than push it down. So we are looking at the positives more than the negatives, but if there is a glaring negative, we can obviously not ignore that. And at the same time, what's nice about doing this tasting is that there could be one person in a panel who really sees something special in a wine. And with the discussion, this person can persuade the rest of the panel to relook at that wine and to bring it up from where it is. And the reverse of this is not really often the case, but there is sort of everyone has a voice in the panel to highlight something they see, something really interesting in a wine, and go from there. So the approach is always positive to any wine, and then with the hope that we find something very special.
Thank you so much. Well, if I may add, I guess it's understood, but just in case, all wines are tasted blindly, of course. And also we do pride ourselves for limiting the tasting samples. the number of tasting samples that judges taste per day is limited to a maximum of 65, which really allows the judges to have enough time to discuss each single wine, as Sarah and Isa mentioned, and each single wine is really studied under the microscope, as we like to say. And also, of course, it helps avoid the palate fatigue, so the judges aren't tired towards the end of the day, and each wine gets the attention it deserves, really. Great. Shall we?
A few words to the, sorry, Mia, just to add a few words to Mia. As you have probably seen it on the communication, we have divided into IWSC's judging process into 2 days. Last year it was 1 day, and it was quite enough number of wines. And this year we're expecting more wines to join. Therefore, we divided into 2 days. So Mila's point is very valid, and it will be very helpful for the judges to do it in 2 days.
And if I may ask as well, to just to reinforce, I think also with the IWSC is we always think obviously winning a medals is very important for producers, but also we feel that wines who don't achieve a medal is also really important to give feedback to producers. And this is something that, because the judges don't actually do that many wines a day, and actually when we do our judging abroad, we even give them less wine than in London, and we want all the judges to spend as long on wines who they don't think deserve a medal, because we want to be able to give feedback, constructive feedback, on why they feel the wine is not worthy of a medal. And I think this is really an added value, and nobody else is doing it. And you know, the goal with the IWSC is to really help the producers, you know, to achieving, you know, whether getting a better understanding of why they haven't achieved a medal, or winning a medal. I think they are both as important.
Thank you so much, Christelle. Do we have any questions from producers, perhaps? Anything about the judging or the results or anything else? Please feel free to unmute yourself or type into the chat. No questions so far?
Hi. Is there a price category?
So shall I jump on that one? We, the IWSC, we actually don't judge on price. We really judge purely what's in the glass. So there is no price category given to any of the judges. It's an ongoing debate, and I don't know if Sarah, Isa, you want to chip in on that one, but it's ongoing. Some competition judge on price, some don't judge on price.
I feel very strongly for the against this, in the sense that the price is relevant to two parties to begin with. One, the producer who is putting the price on his or her produce. Two, the client, the customer who is buying it. It's basically their decision to price, and one gives the price, the other one accepts it or rejects it. And our approach, I think, is and should be, we taste the wine independent of its price category and score it, and it's up to the customer to decide whether that wine is worth the price people are asking or not. I think once you put the price in it, sometimes you unfairly punish a perfectly good wine, or vice versa. So I think, yeah, I just feel that price should stay out of it.
Thank you so much, Isa and Christelle. Any other questions?
I have a question. First of all, thank you very much. It's so nice to see everybody again, and thank you very much for this elaborate explanations. For one, I understand IWSC better now after this session, so thank you. My question is, yes, the feedbacks, especially as Christelle mentioned, for the non-award-winning wines are very important, but they're also very important for award-winning wines. For us, I think, okay, let's face it, there is an inflation of medals in the market right now, and it's a difficult position for the consumer and the producer to understand. That's why I personally choose to stay away from any kind of medal giving competition in general. I'm not saying it to say anything bad about anything. I know there is such an effort and there is a very valuable, structure here. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's confusing. It gets confusing both for the producer and the consumer. So would that be possible to match the award-winning wines as well with at least like a one phrase of description of the wine, or what quality made it to have that award? I think that may be very valuable, very precious for both the producer and the consumer. So I just wanted to throw it out there as a suggestion.
So if I may just chip in quickly, and then Isa and Sarah feel free to add. But so for all the medal-winning wines, we actually provide a tasting note describing the wine. So all the judges, when they test the wine independently, and they write their comment on the wine, and then they have a discussion as a team, so a team of 3. And they come up with a final decision on what they think, where the wine fits in, and then this is when sometime if there are disagreements or they want extra information, or they want an extra opinion, that's when Sarah and Isa will step in as well and share their opinion, and then they come up with a team score and medal, and then our internal team then process all the judges' notes, and we put together a tasting note. So each wine, each bronze, silver, or gold will receive as well a tasting note describing the wine, and all those are also available on our website.
Okay, thank you. I mean, could we then consider these as a shareable official outlook of the competition?
Yeah,
Definitely, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and also I always say that a score and a medal without a tasting note is not. You've got to put things in context, and I do say the tasting note is as equally as important as the score and the medal. So we strongly suggest people to actually use the tasting note and use it widely in all your communication and in your marketing. We know that people only use medals or scores and in their communication, but actually tasting notes are really, really important because they put the wine in context.
I can just add, sorry, please go ahead.
I think also on this one, not on this particular subject, but to make more use of what we are doing in Turkey, the tasting itself, the field trip, etc. This is a really good opportunity for the producers, and collectively also creating some media that you can use in different platforms. And I think you should, if I may say, use this, like get someone professional to shoot the videos, the photos, whatever, and use it as much as possible whilst it's happening and after it has happened, to shout about it. Because if we do it and if it is not enough, like IWSC shares it all the time, but that in itself is not enough. I think each producer really should go for it, because I know some of you, for example, have huge Instagram accounts and things like that. Use it, and it's like it doesn't have to be just your one particular wine, but the event itself, but also the whole of the wines. We should turn this into an opportunity to shout about the wines of Turkey, wines that are produced in Turkey. So it's an opportunity, I think, to really sort of get the attention of people, not just in Turkey, but outside of Turkey, to say, oh, what's happening here? I'll have a look, I think this is an opportunity to be used.
Since we've started talking about the marketing and the promotional side of things, if I can just say a couple of words about the promotional activities that we do for our winners and our global wine judging winners. They really get a very special spotlight and a very special coverage across all our channels and across our partner channels as well. In addition to, of course, all the tasting notes that are published on our website. By the way, very often people search for a wine and they do come across our website and the tasting note published on our website, like in the very, very top results on Google. In addition to that, we do promote all results on our website via blog posts, and we have millions of page views every year, really. So we've got a massive trade audience on our website. We promote all the results via special dedicated posts on our social media platforms as well. We've got, of course, our consumer magazine, Club Enologique. So our website is more of a trade-oriented platform, and Club Enologique is consumer targeted. So they will be publishing dedicated articles and features promoting Turkish wine results as well, and promoting Turkish medal winners. We've got a podcast as well, hosted by David Kermode, who's, by the way, one of the judges heading to Turkey this year. So there will be, and one of the episodes of the podcasts will be promoting our Turkish medal winners as well. And we do collaborate with one of the leading, UK's leading trade media, which is the Buyer magazine, and they will be also promoting our Turkish judging and our Turkish medal winners as well. Oh, and Christelle, would you like to add about the
and then
exciting event that we're doing?
Yeah, definitely. I think what we'd like to do as well, and we have been discussing with Dilek, is we'd love the opportunity to actually host a trade event in London, showcasing all the winning wines. So this is something I feel really strongly, because it's an opportunity to really share, you know, the results and the wine, and to show the wines to all the trades and the press in London. So I hope that producers will be willing to take part. We have hosted those type of events before, and they're very popular because often they showcase wines that the trade has never seen in UK. So it's really, you know, showing the diversity of what the countries offers, and so we really hope that we can make it happen this year.
I will count on that too. If I may add one point, last year one of the feedbacks from the producers was that they didn't have enough time with the judges, international judges, so just to socialize and talk about, in general, industry and their wines. So this year our plan is, since the IWSC judges are going to do it in 2 days, Saturday evening, have a dinner, a sit-down dinner, so where all judges can be sitting in one table, then maybe changing places, just to give an opportunity to socialize with the producers, to be able to get to know them and maybe have direct relations and questions. And so this will be a different plan than last year.
And I guess also this year, if I may add, Dilek, you'll have the opportunity also producers to engage with the judges during the visits in the region as well, because last year it was a very quick trip to Istanbul, but this year actually the judges will be spending more time, so there will be more opportunity as well.
Exactly. I mean, on the route that we're going to take, all the producers will be there to talk about the wines and the industry and all the subjects they may have in their minds. In addition to that, since it will be only one route, and for the other producers, we're going to make that dinner, the Saturday evening dinner, so everyone can socialize and get to know each other. And on top of that, maybe have not a panel, not to make it too business-like, because it's going to be a relaxation as well. But a few points that, you know, maybe Sarah can say something, Isa can talk, and David can maybe make suggestions or comments. So we'll just say we'll have a small stage where people can just talk and talk about their wines and the experience in the wine judging.
Can I ask a question, please?
Sure.
Thank you so much for this really informative meeting, first of all. This is a really transparent process, as we can see as producers and also with the judges. But my question is, I don't know how it goes actually in this competition. That's why I just want to ask, do judges taste the wines grape based on grape category? Like, do they know what the grape is, or do they taste the same grape at the same time? I mean, maybe this is a silly question. I don't know. Maybe you talked about it. I missed it. I don't know. But I just want to know, because I know that it's a blind tasting, and it is a bit hard sometimes to understand which grape is which, or which producer's wine is which. So, I mean, that's the blind tasting's main idea, is that basically. So, but I just want to know, because there are lots of indigenous varieties, like you mentioned, and sometimes it's pretty easy to understand which variety is which. That's why I just want to ask, do the judges taste the grapes, the wines by grape category? Thank you.
Yes, I'll chip in on that one. So yeah, all the wines are tested blind, but they're all organized by grape varieties. So all the international grape varieties will be put together. So yeah, we organize, and then also we look as well the oak, the influence of oak in the wine. We look at the alcohol. So it's a funneling system basically. We group all the grape variety together, and for the indigenous grape variety, we also get local knowledge to advise us on, if we don't know that internally, on the style of the indigenous grape varieties, and we put them into a logical testing order. So yeah, all the wines, and the judges, when they test the wine, they actually know the grape varieties of the wine. They also know basic information like the vintage, the alcohol, the oak contents, and just really to help the judges to put the wine into context and to have a better understanding. So yeah, they will know, there's transparency on the grape varieties the judges will be testing.
I see, because there are, I mean, I'm talking about the indigenous varieties. Obviously, in Turkey, there are lots of producers who produce Merlot, Cabernet, so it would be harder to understand which producer is which. But for example, when it comes to Çalkarası, there are like only 2 or 3 producers who produce red still Çalkarası. So if I mean, it would be easier to understand which wine is it if they know, like, I don't know. This is just,
But
I mean,
to be honest, the judges that are coming to judge, they don't know that kind of information about the producers in Turkey. It's like they are not gonna say, oh, this Çalkarası actually is from Kuzuba. They won't say that because they don't know. And they judge it based on what's in the glass, and if they enjoy it, they find it sort of fits into that category, then they'll get the medal they deserve, regardless of who the producer is, because at the end of the day, no one is really interested to know the producer of the wine they are judging. As you know, that's not the focus. The focus is more looking at what the wine has to offer in the glass. So that's what we are looking at. Only after it has its medal, we might want to know what it is, but we won't know until it's actually revealed what it is. So we get to know what the wines are that are got gold medal or silver or whatever, almost with you guys, because you don't really know the producers until it's revealed. So I think yeah, go on.
Go ahead.
No, it's fine. Go on.
No, what I want to clarify is, Aslı, before the judging session starts with the IWSC judges, we have a workshop with the indigenous grapes. So all the judges who are going to judge the wines will be familiar with different types of indigenous grapes of Turkey.
May I ask a question, please?
Yeah.
Sure. Last year, I was there. Also, I was there with indigenous varieties, and also I was tasting next room, and the names of the grapes were open, and the region. In my opinion, the region must be closed because I'm from Antalya and I am the only winery. So when it's written Antalya, it means Likya. And also for the indigenous varieties, my suggestion is the topic must be Anatolian indigenous varieties, not the name of the grape, because okay, maybe some of the people looking for old vines, but I am looking for lost vines. I discovered 15 grapes and I named them. So it's the name of my son, it's the name of my company, like Lycian Sun, Lycian Light. So it's not a blind tasting. And also, if there is Turkish jury in it, it's not a blind tasting at all. So it must be Anatolian grapes, not the name of the grape. And the region must be closed. So this can open us to surprises. The region can be surprised. For example, for Öküz Gözü, an unusual region can be win the medal. So it must be open to surprises. And it must be, in my opinion, it must be like this, more clear and more objective. Thank you.
Okay, well, I mean, that's an interesting comment, and obviously we'll need to, look into that, because obviously, yeah, if there's certain indigenous grape variety which actually can, obviously has a name producer, then we can, Isa, maybe that's something we can have a discussion, after that meeting to really see, what information we should be giving to help him.
I think we can address this very easily. Let's have a 5 minutes phone call and we can sort this one out. It's very easy to sort it out. Thanks, Burak, for this.
Can I just say
Thank you.
yeah, it's a good point. And actually, it's not unusual. This happens all the time in judging. I mean, I oversee the Italy panel. There are certain grape varieties which, from a certain region, if you know a lot about that region, there are only maybe 2 or 3 or maybe 6 producers really working with that region, or so you think you know. But I would say this really comes back to trust. I think we have to be really clear in great detail, Crystal, about how we manage the process and how obviously strict Crystal is if she gets wind of anyone trying to use their commercial advantage in the judging. There's a kind of sacred trust that we put into the judges. And it has to come down to, do the producers trust and believe that this process is being conducted with completely authentic expert responses to the wines in the glass? You either trust that with all the information we give on all the processes that are put in place, or you don't. If you trust it, you put your wines in. If you don't trust it, you don't. But I think that this is the key. I understand it's difficult times for Turkish producers. I mean, you've had almost like a city for years. It's amazing what you've achieved. But these kind of, oh, I didn't get my medal. Oh, that guy down in, Diyarbakir, everyone knows it's him. They gave him the medal. Actually, I can tell you, whenever I see judges, every now and again, not at IWSC and other competitions, I've seen buyers, they think their wine is in the lineup. They push to get it a gold. It's not even their wine. Okay? So this all comes down to the rigor and the trust and the communication. But we can't, Dilek, I'm sure you got calls from producers saying, well, why didn't I get a gold? I know why. It's because that flipping Turkish judge doesn't like me and she was on the panel. It's not how it works. It's not how it works at all, especially not with all the rigors that we put in place. But it's this issue of trust and transparency, and we have to do whatever it takes to actually address that. And if we could look at part specifying,
I think we must be
certain
very careful. We must be very careful in what we are asking as well sometimes, because what we are asking can actually be questioning the integrity of the judges, and that can be offensive. At the same time, we can take into account of the worries of the system. If we can make the system tighter and more sort of open to transparency, then fair enough, So yeah, I think not sort of blocking it out, but let's have a chat if you need to.
Yeah, we'll have, because you know, I think for me, I mean, I really reinforce Sarah's point that is all about, you know, judges are all about transparency, and when they come and judge for the IWSC, it's very much, it's a collaboration with its team. They're looking what's in the glass, they're focusing on what's in the glass rather than looking, oh, this one is made by A, B, or C. It doesn't actually matter. This is purely what's in the glass. And there's discussion with panelists. There's a real, they spend a lot of time on each wine. So they're all very focused on testing what's inside the glass. And so, you know, but it happens, we have other countries where sometimes there's a very specific wine is made by a specific producer who is very well known, and you can tell if we put some information, the producers will know, and we remove those information. So that we do sometimes have to, you know, so we use, you know, our knowledge. And so this is definitely something with Isa, we can have a chat to really, I mean, I strongly believe that we should keep the region and we should keep the grape variety, because this is the identity of Turkish wines and is really important information. However, Isa and I can have a chat about if there's too many sensitive information, then we can look into it and how we display it to the judges.
I wish there were more producers here to hear about this discussion and to hear your views on this. But we had said enough. We will share the Zoom link with them. So the recording, thank you, with them. So let's say, let's talk it over.
Thank you to Sarah and Isa for taking the time from your busy schedule to join that call. And thank you for all the producers, and obviously thank you for Dilek and the team to organize it as well. And we're really excited to be coming to Turkey in a few months. And I hope we get to see all of you during our visit. So.
Thank you so
Hi,
much.
I have a quick question. Can I ask?
Please.
Yeah.
I would like to know your approach on more freshly produced products, such as like steel tank products. I would like to know is such as like usage of oak is a mandatory aspect for your evaluation in order to get gold or like higher medals.
Would Sarah or Isa like to answer this one?
I think there is no mandatory winemaking techniques or anything. One mandatory thing I can say is that the wine has to be correctly made, and whether you use oak or steel tank or cement tank, whatever, it's up to you. We just look at the overall balance and the fruit quality and the structure of the wine as a quality indicator. So winemaking techniques, there isn't a preferred winemaking techniques, if that's what you are asking.
Not exactly winemaking technique, but like the usage is. I want to know if oak usage is a like a important aspect for your evaluation. But I got your answer. Thank you very much.
It has nothing to do with how we judge it. If you use oak, it has to be in balance with the wine. It shouldn't be the only thing you taste. Other than that, basically, it shouldn't smell or it shouldn't taste like a carpenter shop. But other than that, it's fine.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, this was the last one, I think. Thank you so much, everyone, once again for joining us today, and we hope to see you all in Turkey very soon. Have a lovely day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.